Hello and welcome back to the show. So for today's episode, I am really excited to have my guest Siva on because he is an expert in AI, but more specifically in AI agents. And that is something I think that is super unique to the industry of AI and tech as a whole, but also a very, very big topic for real estate agents, especially now here in the beginning of 2025, because as we all know, ChatGPT just came out with the operator system, which is a way for you to actually build AI agents, which are things that can actually help you automate tasks in your business as well. So Steve going to come on and introduce you guys to what AI agents are. He's going to be showing you guys some demos on how to use AI agents and how to build them using his company software, and also pretty much how to use this in your day-to-day business to save you time and just get more done as a real estate agent. So Siva, man, welcome to the show. I'm super excited to have you join us today.
Thanks, Kobe. Thanks for having me. Happy to share what we know on AI.
Yeah, so I mean, like AI agents are it's just such a this new unique thing that's being put out there, and a lot of people are learning about it. Some people are scared of it, I'm sure. But you are an expert in this, and I would love for you to be able to share just before we dig into kind of our topic for today, a little bit about yourself and how did you come across being in this industry specifically? Because AI is so new, right? That I'm sure you have an extensive background in tech or entrepreneurship, and I would love for you to be able to kind of share that and how you got into this in the first place.
Sure. Thanks, Kobe. So I'm a second-time founder. I previously built an AI and cloud company, which I grew to about 200 plus people. I sold that business to a publicly listed large system integrator, and then I joined them. I helped them do about half a billion of cloud and AI. I would say business in 3 years. Quit my job, came back to starting another startup again, and it was early 2023, which is when GPT, which is from OpenAI, their API actually came out. So builders like us could build some early agents, or not even agents back then. It were there's applications. I mean, when I say back then, just a couple of years back, you were still building AI applications, and that led us to the idea of building a platform on which you could build these AI agents to automate some of the mundane, repetitive tasks that people do. So yeah, I mean, I've been doing AI for the last 10 years, and it was just natural that we jump onto this new generative AI bandwagon and get started.
Yeah, that's so cool, man. So you've been doing AI, like you said, for like the past 10 years. And that's, I mean, like that's before people even knew what AI was, right? That's before. So you were doing AI before AI was like cool, quote unquote. But just to kind of really start us off for today, right? For people who don't even know what AI agents are, just really briefly or just kind of from a 101 standpoint, would you mind just breaking that down? Like, what is an AI agent?
Fantastic. Yeah, great question. Let us look at, I mean, we in the last, say, 1.5 years that we've been in the market, we've actually spoken to a lot of real estate agents. And let me try and bring an example from their world. So, a real estate agent would probably write emails to their prospective buyers and even sellers sometimes. And obviously, with ChatGPT, now you could go chat with ChatGPT, get some ideas, and get some email format up and running, which you then copy paste onto your email client, Outlook or Gmail, whatever that is, and then you send an email. Now, 2 days later, you go back to your email and see if they've replied. If not, you write another follow-up email. Again, you go back to ChatGPT, brainstorm. Hey, you know what? I sent this message. I want to send a follow-up message, and this time I really want the customer to book an appointment with me. So you kind of give those instructions, and GPT does what GPT does really well. Copy paste. Now, here you are still interacting with the AI system, but there is this manual, mundane process that you go through. You copy paste and send email and follow up. And again, agents are busy. They go out. The real estate agents, human agents are busy. They go out for open houses, and they do. I mean, they're always on the field. So obviously, they miss follow ups and etc. So which is where now AI agents come into picture, because the whole concept of AI agent is, if you are doing a task for the second time, for the third time, that particular task becomes a fantastic candidate to automate, which is exactly where AI agents come. AI agents are nothing but autonomous working agents. They do this task, they mimic you, and they do the task on their own, ensuring that you get to the desired outcome. Let us take this exact scenario. The agents, once set up, will be able to write an email to the prospective buyer or seller with whatever context that you ideally want the agent to do. It can follow up every 2 days with newer, better emails as follow ups. So, for the person who's reading, they will not know whether it is written by AI or the human because the quality of AI is fantastic. And then on top of it, our agent technology ensures that it is even more humanized in order to before it sends it out. So so this keeps happening until the other person takes a call. Okay, you know what? I'll probably just book an appointment and or I'll at least give a call and see what happens. So the whole thing is repetitive or rather autonomous. Agents can automatically follow up anywhere between 2 emails to 200 emails or 2000 emails. Doesn't matter. There is literally no stop for the agents. They just keep following up. Now, this is the basic explanation of how AI agents come into picture. Now, take the same theory, apply it for blog posts. You might write a lot of blog posts. Now, you could automate that with an agent which does its job automatically. You might write a lot of copies. If there is a new, say, house in the market, you might want to create the copy and you would want to send it to your prospective clients. That could also be automated. What if you build an agent that scans all these listings and then create a new copy which is like branded with your brand and then sends it out to your prospects. So all these are avenues to automate, but the bottom line is very simple. If you are automating, or if you're doing a task for the second, not even second time, probably the third time, the same exact task, they become a fantastic avenue for automation with AI agents.
Yeah, so that's incredible, right? So you're basically having like a virtual employee working in your in your business, right? So without having to go out there and hire and vet people, which for a lot of agents they do work with virtual assistants, but a lot of agents out there have, horror stories of, spending so much time working with people that are unreliable, right? And just not having the results they want. Now, there's a lot of real estate agents out there who are maybe a little bit tech savvy that are using, tools like Zapier or go high level. And they have, automations that they can build, right? There's APIs they can connect and they've automated tasks, right? So the difference I would love for you to be able to explain between having kind of building automations through like a task, builder like Zapier versus doing it through AI agents, because it does sound like the AI agents are able to do things a lot more intuitively
Yeah.
and it's easier for you to build that out as well.
Yeah, it's a fantastic question. So platforms like Zapier and other, say, automation tools are from the previous generation. So with which you're not able to do a lot of dynamic decision making. So the beauty of AI, generative AI, and AI agents powered by generative AI is that these agents are able to decide like a human. If it looks at, say, a couple of scenarios in front of it, it can figure out what needs to be done, like almost like a human. But when it comes to systems like Zapier, if it breaks, you still have to go and figure out and fix the issue, which is exactly why AI agents are very popular now because they are able to work in ambiguity. They are okay with ambiguous nature of data coming in. They're okay with ambiguous nature of the whole workflow. They'll just keep the systems moving, and that is something that customers like because they don't have to go and fix the system. So this is how the new age of AI agents are evolving, and this is the reason why they're very popular.
Yeah, that's such a good point, right? Because if you look at like tools like Zapier, right, what you can do is like they're automated tasks, but you have to be very specific on like the steps and like what branching out like conditions, if then conditions. With AI agents, what I'm hearing is able to kind of make these decisions on its own, and there's a lot more variety as far as the decisions that it can help you make when it comes to helping you with automated processes, right? Because like for example, if somebody responds to your email, it'll be able to recognize kind of what to respond to that email with on your behalf instead of with Zapier, you might have to be the one doing it yourself.
Exactly. I mean, it's like from if I have to give an analogy, it's like going from A to B by train, which is what Zapier does.
Mhm.
Now, going A to B by flight is what AI agents do. So they don't have literally any of these constraints that you need to go on a track at a specific speed. They take off, they get to you to point B much faster, and they don't have to follow any specific route. For them, it's all about the destination, and they'll get there eventually. And if the train breaks down, you still have to wait, you'll have to fix. Here, obviously, the flight just lands automatically. We assume that the flights won't crash, but and given the Six Sigma uh, process that we see in air industry, airline industry, yeah, you don't crash. You normally end up landing most of the times.
Right. That's such a great analogy, right? Because I think it's easy for people to kind of now visualize what that means, right? Because with, like with Zapier, right, previous automation tools, right, you can there's very specific, like a train track, right? It's from it has to follow that specific path versus, by traveling by flight, getting from A to B, there is more or less a path that you're going to want to follow, but there's so much more flexibility, right? You can get there faster. You can take a different route, right? If there was something going on like turbulence or whatever, right? Just kind of give that example. So that's such a great analogy, I think, between the difference between the two. And you did mention like, assuming it doesn't crash, right? Assuming that there's no errors when it comes to, it functioning. So, why don't you talk maybe a little bit about the AI agent and maybe its chances or percentages for error? Because I think, when agents start building these out, they're gonna want to make sure that it doesn't say something that doesn't reflect well on them, right? As a real estate agent, as a professional, and if it does, they want to make sure that they're notified and they know about it as well.
Yes. Again, AI agents today are wildly popular in marketing and sales function and customer support because the room for error is very high. You can tolerate error there. If you are able to handle 80% of the customer queries and you're not able to handle 20%, that is still absolutely fine. Customers are like, okay, I mean, as an organization, you're okay with it because you still get a lot of efficiency. And same goes in sales, like writing emails. 90 fantastic quality emails are fine compared to 10 bad quality emails. Same goes to marketing. And that is why, I mean, that is where AI agents are very popular today. But there is a common misconception that it cannot do much more critical tasks, but it's wrong. There are few companies like us we have built a framework underneath which ensures that the agents do not hallucinate. The agents behave well. Like for example, it will not have any bias or toxicity that it will have in its output. The agents will not allow any prompt injection attacks. Like if anyone is trying to trick the agent, it'll detect and it'll ensure that it doesn't take it forward. So all these are guardrails that we've already built in the framework, which makes the AI agents do far more critical tasks today. An example, we have this very large energy company who's building a, an equipment troubleshooting agent for one of the offshore oil rigs. Now, the error rate has to be less than 1% because this is the life or death situation. If if it builds a equipment error troubleshooting steps in a wrong manner, the service person who's actually in the offshore oil rig might end up injuring or even something bad might could happen. So your agents have to perform with less than 1% accuracy. Yes, there is human in loop concept, which is once the agent generates their output, a human actually reviews and ensuring that it sticks to I would say, the right instructions. But that is the level of criticality that these agents are able to handle. So yeah, the market is actually moving really fast in that direction. It's not just simple sales and marketing. We are doing far more complex things.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the cool thing about AI is that it's so quickly developed and there's so much development and it's all going on, kind of like in front of our eyes, right? Things are changing and improving and it's able to kind of, maybe even improve itself. I think a lot of people think that as well. And yeah, so like when it comes to building out these AI agents, right? So what are some things that you would need to know or you would need to have on hand as far as maybe information, data, knowledge, or how specific the instructions you have to give it in order to build an AI agent that's actually effective, right? Because we've all, I'm sure, used whether if it's very rudimentary, just ChatGPT, or if you actually gone through the process of building out an AI agent yourself, we've gotten results where it's like it's not great, right? Because the input that you're putting in wasn't specific or necessary. So when it comes to building AI agents, what are some, I guess, key things that you would need to have in order for it to actually work effectively and efficiently for you?
Got it. So again, a very good question. And this is where people kind of get frustrated, to be honest, when they start building something. Um, Building an AI agent, first of all, requires two non-technical traits. One, patience. Another one, the I would say the willingness to go through a trial and error scenario loop, actually. It's very similar to teaching your kid ride his or her bike for the very first time. You have to have the patience. You'll have to train them the way they should ride the bike. Now let's bring it to the technical side of things. What do you need? Very simply put, you need to know how to write a prompt, which is the basic one. So, so write a prompt. Prompt writing is has become a lot easier. For example, take Lyzr in our studio. You just come and write the way you write your prompt, and there is a an option to improve the prompt, and the agent automatically improves its own prompt. So we have all of those built in, but still basics of prompting is super important. I keep saying this to all our customers as well. In this future that we are moving forward, writing a prompt is as I would say important as knowing to write an email or a message or an SMS. It's that important, and it's not hard science. It's just about figuring out how these models or how these generative AI agents react to your message. You could actually sit down for an hour, go through a couple of videos. There is a fantastic guide called promptingguide.ai. They have a lot of techniques that you could learn very quickly. That'll give a massive edge over people who do not do that. It is like say your ability to say speak in a language in a foreign country. So that is the level of I would say edge that you would get. So technically, from a technical standpoint, prompting is the very first thing that you need to know. There are some advanced concepts like how to access a knowledge base to get the agents do write about from the knowledge base, how to use tools and so on. And platforms like us, like Lyzr, we've made it super simple. All you have to do is just click and get your agents up and running in few clicks. So yeah, I'll go back to one single aspect again because all the other aspects are being automated, are we are making it easier, companies like us and many others. But as long as but when it comes to writing the prompt, it comes back to the user. So you need to figure out, or you need to know how to convey your problem in a prompt so that the agents follow those instructions and do the job that you're asking for. That skill is something that everyone has to build.
So prompting, that's the single most important skill you would say as far as being able to kind of navigate this new world of AI, right? Whether if you're building agents or not, understanding how to write prompts where you're specific and it will give you the results that you want, that's going to be the most important skill moving forward. Definitely more important than writing an email or a message because if you know how to write prompts, you'll have that done automatically for you.
100%. And I just want to add one point to that. So people often write prompts and they say, look, I know English. English is the native language and I write beautiful prompts. But what they fail to understand is it's not about writing, it's not about that skill. It's about converting the idea or converting the problem that you have in your head into a prompt that the agents will be able to understand and do what they're supposed to do. So, which is where the concept of trial and error comes in. You would get better at converting or translating the problem into a prompt only by practice. So start writing, and over a period of time, you will figure out that okay, you got really better at prompting. So prompting is not about writing beautiful English sentences. It's about converting your problem into something that LLMs could understand.
Makes perfect sense. So, you're not so much trying to write it in a way where it sounds super nice and it's all grammatically correct and there's good transitions, I guess, with the words that you use. What you're really trying to do is you're trying to get that point across as far as what is it that I need to have happen, And then I'm sure there's certain aspects that needs to be included in that. And when it comes to, kind of picking between the two, right? Like having like a really beautifully written prompt versus maybe just like kind of rudimentary bullet point or like run-on sentences or whatever grammatically incorrect way that you're writing it, but it gets the point across, then obviously one is going to be more effective than the other.
Like it becomes a muscle memory over a period of time, like how you ride your bike. So which is why I gave that analogy, because it is painful initially, but then you will not be even be thinking about how do I write this prompt. You will actually be thinking about what else can I get the agent do. So that's the I would say the evolution that happens.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically what you're trying to say is that it doesn't matter like the type of language or like the way that it doesn't matter that it's just if you're able to get it to do what it's supposed to do, then that's at the end of the day,
Exactly.
that's all that matters. Yeah. Awesome, man. So, Steven, man, I think you talked about maybe showing us some demos
Yeah,
on your
yeah.
platform on how to build out some of these agents for to use as a real estate agent. And I would love for you to be able to share that with our audience here because I think a lot of them, they're listening to this and maybe they're watching this on video. They don't really, they get the concept maybe a little bit. But they would love to see how it really works, kind of in the real world as well, because it's something that I think it will be much better presented visually.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll do that. I have two demos lined up. The first one is I want to take the audience through the whole art of agent building and how you could build uh, a customer service agent, an agent that can take calls and book appointments on your behalf. Imagine you could build that in 2 minutes, and I'm going to show that. And you do not need any technical knowledge to do that. That's the first demo. And the second demo is an autonomous AI agent that can write emails and follow up and book appointments for you through email. So two agents which are very relevant to real estate industry, and I'll probably get started with that. Right? Okay. So step one, I'm sharing my screen. Okay. All right, here we are. So, so studio.lyzr is where our agents reside. It's studio.lyzr.ai. And this is open to all. It's free to get started. You get 100 agent actions. So this is where the agent building really happens. When you visit studio.lyzr.ai, go to agents and click on, say, create new. And this is the agent UI where you will actually build the agent that you want to build. So for today's demo, I've kind of written a few already, so I'm going to probably use that. So this is, I would say, refresh it. Agents, okay, a real estate booking appointment agent. So step one is to give the name. I just the name could be any random name, so I'm calling it as a real estate appointment booking agent. And then a description. This agent helps in booking open house appointments. And then LLMs. So we have multiple choices, including the famous, infamous DeepSeek, it went live today. So you have multiple, say, LLMs to choose from, and you can also choose the models provided by these providers. You don't have to get too technical. Just select OpenAI and go for GPT-4o. That's like the gold standard. You don't even have to worry about it. I'm selecting GPT-4o Mini because it's slightly cheaper, so I'm sticking to that. And now this is where the real aspect comes in, agent role. So here, this is the standard way of writing a role to an agent. Like you are an expert appointment booking agent. Your role is to interact with the customer and find a suitable time to book an appointment. And then agent instructions. So you can give the instructions here. Okay, introduce yourself as Rachel, an appointment booking agent. Ask the customer what's the best time to, I would say, to visit the open house, navigate the call, and so on. And I'm giving some booking instructions as well. You can book a 30-minute slot anytime between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m., Monday to Friday. So these are the instructions. So you're in step one, you're giving the agent instructions on what should it do, and then you're giving some guidelines. I can also say booking guidelines here, booking guidelines. So this is how you give very, very simple, basic English. Now, what we've done is we have this improve prompt feature. When you click on it, it now starts working on improving this simple input into a production grade prompt. You could see what happened here. It just took the simpler one, and converted that into a task breakdown kind of agent. So that's up and running already. And if you just click on update and save, now the agent is ready. Now, this is your agent, which is designed to interact with the customer, but through chat, it still does not have voice capabilities. So, how do we do that? I go to the voice agent and I select the agent that we just built, the real estate appointment booking agent. And that's pretty much it. So, all you have to do is figure out, test it once, and then you have your voice agent ready. So, let's test this out now. I'm clicking on start. Okay. Hi,
Hello, I'm Rachel, your appointment booking agent. How can I assist you today with booking a visit to our open house? What
I'm
time?
yeah, I'm planning to visit this Tuesday.
Great. I'd be happy to help you schedule an appointment. Our open house is available for 30-minute visits between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m., Monday to Friday. What time would you like to come by?
How about 6 p.m.? Because I have some errands to run. Can I come by 6 p.m. that day?
I'm sorry, but our open house visits are only available between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m., Monday to Friday. Could we schedule a time during those hours? Please let me know what time works best for you within that time frame.
Okay, probably 3:30.
3:30 p.m. sounds perfect. I've scheduled your 30-minute visit for 3:30 p.m. on your chosen day. We look forward to welcoming you. If you have any questions or need to make any changes, please feel free to reach out. Have a great day.
Thank you. So that's it. It took a couple of minutes for us to build an agent, which is like the brains, and then just add voice to it. And that's all it takes for the version one. But like I mentioned, this is like the initial version of the agent, and then you test it. You want to change something, go back to the agent and just give more instructions. So the more instructions that you give, the agent will continuously get better. That's the whole that's the whole science of building an agent and using it for your internal purposes. Now, I know not most of them are developers, but I want to just highlight that when you build an agent on our platform, you also get an API endpoint. So this is how you integrate this with your existing website, like a chat system on your website, or any other phone books that you may have. This is how the whole integration happens. So this is agent number one. We saw how to build and enable a voice agent that can take up meetings. Agent number two is the email automation agent. So just log in. So we call it as JSON. That's the brand that we assign. So it's an AI SDR agent. It's designed to write emails and follow-ups. So this is how it works. Step one is, let me see if there's an activity. Yeah. Step one is you teach the agent, the AI agent, on how to sell. So give it a pain point to sell, give it some case studies to sell. So the agent will understand how to sell. And step two is what to sell. So if you have your, say, property website, your real estate company details, just give the PDF documents or website or text. The agent will now know what to sell. And then mode, select the sales mode. In about 7 emails, the agent will try and will fix a meeting for you. You can also select custom mode where you can design your own sequence. The agent will follow that sequence. And then prospects, you upload your list of customers to go after. The agent will do a detailed study about the customer, and this is where it gets really interesting. These agents actually can scrape your LinkedIn, your Facebook to understand who you are and what you really do, what really matters for you, so that it writes the email in a lot more personalized way so that you actually react to the email. So that is where the AI agents really come into picture. And then you schedule it, like how many times you want the agent to write to a person before disqualifying the person, and then finally the tracking. So you can actually see how the agent is writing and how is it automatically following up. So this is again another key aspect. AI agents can work autonomously on their own. Now, if you're not happy with how it's writing an email, just go back to the mode and give your feedback to the construct and format, and the agent will learn, and it remembers, it ensures that this is how I should do it next time. So this is another good example of how you can automate your outbound with emails, and you can run any number of campaigns on the platform. So this is available in our studio. If you visit App Store, you have JSON AI SDR. It is available for anyone to use. And like I said earlier, you can get started for free and then you can expand. We've also seen a scenario where larger organizations, like we were working with a Miami-based billion-dollar real estate firm. So they came back and said, look, I like this, but I want it a lot more customized to our needs. So we have the done for you service. So if there is something that is really custom that you want to do, you can obviously reach out to us and we will build it for you and launch it so that you can continue to use these agents. So you're not on your own. We are here to help you. There are many other companies like us who are here to help you. So it's all we know the technology, we know how to solve a problem. So as long as you have a problem, you can obviously reach out to us.
That's really impressive what you guys are able to do. I definitely think so. I mean, imagine like you're a real estate agent and you're not just able to automate your email outreach campaigns with all of your prospects that you're able to generate through lead generation and your marketing, but also the capability of the agent to go out there, the AI agent to go out there and scrape LinkedIn, Facebook, kind of your internet presence of all of your different prospects and be able to essentially personalize that email for them, right? Personalize the information, personalize the opening. I saw that it was doing that in the example that you showed with the test prospect that you had. It recognized what they were doing, the position they had, right? I think that's going to be such a powerful tool because a lot of real estate agents today, they use CRMs and they have automated follow-ups, emails, but they're all the same email. Like you can't personalize it. If you want to personalize that, you're gonna have to go in and do it literally one by one by one. But with this new kind of new technology, this new system is able to not just personalize it, but actually do it for you and do it automatically as well. So I think that's it's not just increasing efficiency, it's increasing its effectiveness and conversion rate as well.
Correct. And again, it overcomes this issue that we all humans have, which is forgetfulness, right? So we had another customer who brought in a fantastic use case. So they are a real estate company, an agent. So they get a lot of leads through Zillows and Redfins of the world. And then they obviously have a initial qualification call with the customer. And then the buyer says, no, this is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for say, a 5 bedroom property on the lake somewhere in Philly or in New Jersey, for example. Now, obviously, the agent does not have any inventory. All they do is they kind of write it down in a notepad and then it's lying on their table and they forget completely about this customer. Now, you could build an agent and you could feed this info to the agent. Now, agent keeps checking every day for new properties that are in the inventory. And whenever it finds a match, it automatically sends an email to the client saying, hey, you know what? You asked for this. I found it. What do you think? And then the client obviously could set up a meeting and you are able to now convert a lead out of thin air because the forgetfulness is out now. The agent is doing a custom work that you were supposed to do. So the reason I'm sharing this is a lot of such custom agents could be built as well, which makes your job much more easier. So you can actually do just what you're really good at. I mean, the possibility is expanding ever in this field.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So it's so exciting, and I'm so glad we get to have this conversation, right? Because you've been doing this for even before AI was kind of this widely known thing. So you've been in this, and you kind of see where this is going as well, I'm sure. So what is just kind of wrap up today? What do you think is going to be kind of like the future of this, right? With just AI in general, it could be AI agents, it could just be how is this going to play as far as a part in our lives as business owners in general, especially, real estate agents. What do you think is going to be able to do? How do you think it's going to be able to really separate those who are really plugged in versus those who may have been left behind because, they're not using AI and they're not learning about it and they're not implementing it in their business?
I mean, on a positive note, AIs are like cars for us. It's going to help us go to a destination faster and in a much nicer ride, obviously, instead of walking, etc. So uh, this people who use AI the right way will definitely be a lot richer compared to people who do not use. Unfortunately, that is the blunt truth of how this technology is shaping up. Number one. Number two, people again, folks who use AI will not only see, say, better revenues and better conversions, but also better customer service and overall improve their business processes and expand faster. And it's going to be omnipresent. Starting with ChatGPT, you're going to see AI almost in every product that we see in the market. So there's literally no escape from AI. So the sooner you embrace, the sooner you'll understand what this beast is and tame it so that you don't have to worry about someone else taking your lunch away. You exactly know what is happening, and you will be actually riding the wave instead of getting stuck in it. So yes, just start exploring. Just don't. There are a lot of naysayers in the market. There are a lot of people who are happy that the shares fell the last 2 days due to the deep seek thing happening in the market, $1 trillion, $2 trillion market wipeout, etc. But that's all okay. I think that's all vicarious thrill that we get. I mean, even I was both happy and sad at the same time, even though I'm an AI. But I can just say that please go out, start exploring, start building. You will understand what this is all about, and you could use it many ways in your business.
Absolutely. And I think just to kind of one last point there, I think it still boggles my mind that there's naysayers out there. Because I think at this point, having seen what AI has been doing in the past just 2, 3 years, I think there's no denying that this is the future, right? So if you're still out there and you still think that, you know, this is not it's just the fad, right? It's just, kind of this fly by night thing. We can pretty much say that that opinion is not correct. That is an outdated opinion that's not going to be right. Because this is the future, right? Like it will be what shapes the future starting right now.
Yeah, this is not any multi-level marketing or any scam. This is true. This is not crypto. This AI is very different. So a lot of people compare with crypto, but obviously crypto is a very different thing. I don't do crypto at all because I don't understand what it is. So like lot of us. But AI, we understand, we know what is happening. So hence, this is the time.
Yep, absolutely, man. Siva, man, I appreciate you being here on the show and sharing your knowledge with us, while also sharing the demo with us as well. So, for anybody who is out there watching or listening to this that want to know a little bit more about, kind of what you do, maybe want to sign up to your platform, test it out. What are some of the best ways for people to, kind of participate in this new revolution of AI and implementing it in their businesses?
Yeah, yes. So you can visit Lyzr.ai, Lyzr, Lyzr.ai. And from there, you can visit the studio where you can start building the agents the way I showed. And if you want done for you service, if you think, you know what, hey, I have slightly complex problem to automate, just can you do it for us? Please book a demo with us. We'll be happy to hop on a call and understand what's that you want to automate and build it for you. And the beauty of building on Lyzr is you can build and go live in a matter of weeks, 3 to 4 weeks max. So that's even faster than hiring a human to do a particular job. And it's real. And we had a customer who wanted to hire a vendor management person, and they ended up building an agent in 2 weeks and they went live. So that's what we could do for you. Please start exploring, start building.
Yep, absolutely, man. We'll make sure to leave the link to the website in the description, the show notes down below. Guys, make sure to visit Lyzr.ai if you guys want to start building your AI agents for free. And talk to Siva if you guys want this kind of a done for you solution as well. So before I let you go, man, just want to say appreciate you being on the show. And do you have any last pieces of advice, any last tips with the do you want to leave with the audience before we let you sign off for today?
Like you brush every day, s- start using ChatGPT at least once a day. That's the best way to make it a habit. So when you make it a habit, it's more natural for you to use AI. So that's my piece of advice to anyone who's still on the fence on whether should I use it or not. But on that note, Kobe, thanks for having me. This is fantastic. It's a very different industry. I was initially skeptical to kind of, what would I do with I mean, how many things could we do on a real estate side? So before this call, I did some study. I was preparing like how I built the agent. And boy, I mean, there are so many things that we could do in real estate industry, to be honest. So thanks for having me again.
Oh, absolutely, man. I'm so glad you said that. I think agents need to get out there, start practicing, start using ChatGPT at least once a day. And appreciate you being here. Appreciate you all for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next show. Take care.